Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description. Okay. So this is a
It's a lot of fun.
2-5-1K cap, right?
Yep, 251K cap.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually the effective stack 880. I just lost a hand right before.
Okay.
Forgot to top off, and so I'm under the gun +2.
Okay.
But action under the gun folds, under the gun +1 makes it 25. I'm looking down at aces, and I make it 70.
Okay. Is that
Everyone else
a large or standard open
I
in
would
that
say
game to
that's
25? Is that like what's
I would say that's one big blind larger than normal.
so people just usually open to 20?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But
Yeah.
then you'll see the occasional 25, and I never know what that means. So, yeah. But anyways, I have aces, so I have to 3-bet.
Right. I mean, you probably should 3-bet. I mean, you could sometimes flat early versus early. In a cash game, I 3-bet like 99% of the time. They're just like too good. And I think playing straightforward at this level is usually going to win the most amount of money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Flat. Would you flat in hopes to get squeezed?
Well, that's part of why you sometimes flat. The other thing, though, too, is that if the players are bad enough, see, sometimes people play pre-flop a little bit. It depends on the type of player, because the pre-flop, like, if you raise from like 25 to 70 and a guy folds like king queen or king jack, right? Like whatever. But if you actually let him in and then he hits top pair and then you play aces fast post flop, you can actually win a lot of money. Almost like playing out like a set.
Even in the positions we're playing, under the gun +1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, why? Because you think that your opponent's going to give you credit, you mean, if you raise the flop?
Well, no, I just don't want it to go multi-way because there's so many more players behind.
No, I understand that. I mean, yeah, I'm not super scared of taking aces multi-way. I mean, you just have to proceed with caution. And like I said, I'm 3-betting here like almost at this level almost always. But yes, getting squeezed and then sometimes allowing a player that's very bad post-flop to not fold pre-flop is why you would flat. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. How do you like my sizing? 25 to 70.
It's fine. It's a 70, right?
Cool. Yep, I made
Okay.
70, and go to a flop of...
So your head's up, right?
Yeah, heads up.
Okay. Yep.
And we go to a flop of Jack 5-4, rainbow.
Jack 5-4 rainbow. Okay.
Yep. I think the pot is like 145-ish, and he checks, and I bet 85.
So, all right, check, and you bet 85, which is about half the size of the pot, something like that.
A little bit more, yeah.
Okay. I mean, the other good thing,
Like 145.
I think the other good thing here that you have with aces is that like you sort of block some of the ace highs, and probably pairs are going to call you. You could even size down a little bit here too, but if you wanted to go for max value, I can sort of see like if you bet 85 and he calls, pot will be like 440 and you're going to have like 700 left. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm always thinking about trying to get full value from my hands at this level than like
exactly
trying to dink and dunk a little bit to try to like, you know, get good prices on my bluffs. I think it's more important to get full value from your hands. So you bet 85.
Yep, 85, I get a call.
Yeah.
Which is, I wasn't too surprised because it's a very dry board.
Okay.
So I think any pair is going to call me.
Yep.
Any reasonable pair.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to a turn of a 3. And it brings a backdoor flush draw. And I don't remember what. And it doesn't really come into play, but it did bring in a backdoor flush
Did you
draw.
look and see if you had the heart?
I did not. Yeah, I did not block that ace or that flush.
So you didn't have the backdoor flush ace, basically.
Yeah, I didn't have the backdoor
All
flush.
right, then I'm just going to put this as like Jack 5-4 heart, and you have like 2 black aces or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of worried at this point a little bit, but he checks, and I don't think checking sounds right.
I don't know why. Why would you think it's weird? That's a great card for you, right?
Like the flop was just so dry that I think he's going to continue with only sets.
You don't think he's like calling with
point?
like pocket 9s, pocket 10s, pocket queens? king jack suited, queen jacks. You mean if you bet again on the turn? You mean?
If I bet again on the turn, yeah. I think he would give me enough credit where it's like the under the gun +1 and I raise under the gun +2 that
I don't know, man. I mean, if that's the case, then like you should probably be double barrel bluffing like a lot more in 3-bet pots. If you, I mean, I would definitely bet again. You don't have to size up that much. I mean, you bet 85, so it's 170, so 150. The pot's 320. You could bet like 140, 150, something like that. That's what I would probably do.
Yeah. I bet 160.
Okay.
And he calls.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm kind of scared for a set, that he caught a set.
Well, here's the thing.
Like
you don't.
like something.
You know, I've talked about this before. Well, there's two things going on. Okay, you never want to make a bet where, when you're called, you're scared. Okay, so if you feel like that's the situation, then you've done something wrong. I don't agree with you though. Like you shouldn't feel scared. Those are the two things I would say. But I think the more important thing is that you don't want to size a bet where when you're called, you're like, I'm fucked, if you're doing it for value. And obviously you are. You're not bluffing.
Right.
So whenever you get a sense of, he called, I'm not good, like, then you've probably, something's askew. But I don't think that's the case in this spot. I'd be happy that he called. I would think I'd have the best hand.
Yeah, I still know, like, all the other pairs are still in his range, so I wasn't that scared. I mean, I still bet. Like, I was betting for value.
Right. So the pot is like what, 670 now? Is that right? Something like that.
Yeah, something around there.
670, and you have what, like
something like 550 or 560 left.
Okay.
And the river comes a offsuit deuce.
Okay.
And opponent jams, he just jams. So it's the rest of my chips, like 550, 560.
I mean, how many sixes does he have here?
That's exactly what I was thinking. But then again, like, how many aces does he have? I blocked 2 of them.
Well, I mean, I know that's true, and it doesn't I just feel like. But here's the thing, though. Your hand, the way that you played it, like, and I'm not necessarily giving this guy credit for thinking this way, but here's why I wouldn't really think about folding too much here, because your hand looks like an overpair, right?
Yeah. Right,
and like, there's just, or like let's say that you 3-bet and bet the flop. Okay. Excuse me. Let's say you 3-bet and then double barrel with jacks, queens, kings, and aces. Okay. Let's say that's your range.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this river is a very bad card for you, right? Like, in the sense that like you're only going to have aces so much. You're going to have all the other hands, right? So like you sort of have like one of the better hands you can get here with at the end. Like I said, I'm not necessarily giving the guy credit for that. I've seen some spaz bluffs with like pocket 9s, pocket 8s, and stuff like that. But like, how many 6s do you have? And you're going to chop this pot a fair amount too. I know he shouldn't really have a ton of ace highs, but who knows? Like, he could have check called with ace king, continued on turn. Like you said, you don't block the backdoor heart draw.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking at the time too.
So, I mean, even if you're getting like, it sounds like you're getting, so the pot's going to be, it's like little bit less than a pot size bet. So you're getting over 2-1, but even if you chop, even if you're calling to chop 1-1, I'm not going to fold here. I mean, if he's got pocket 6s, so be it. That's really the only, I mean, he shouldn't have ace 6 suited unless, I mean, I guess he could have like 6-7, but he'd have to check call the turn with the nuts and then play it like this. You're going to be good here a ton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so as played, I grabbed one chip. I didn't think too long, but I had like the pain in my face as I was putting it down. And, I just didn't feel good about it, and he turns over 6s.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you did anything wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I asked another friend of mine, and he said he would have folded. And so I wasn't too sure about what I was supposed to do.
He would have folded in a 3. Why? Because of the player specifically?
Well, I didn't really describe the player at all to him, but
so your friend is saying that he would have folded aces in a 3-bet pot, early versus early, on a Jack 5-4-3 deuce run out. He's just going to give under the gun 1-6.
Yeah, he says somehow he has a 6, dude, and he couldn't really explain it other than that. But I mean, just Yeah, I don't think I did anything wrong either, which is why we were kind of analyzing the hand together. But
I mean, that has to be
yeah,
that's such an would have to be such a gross exploit to make that fold. I
yeah,
can't. And I'm all for
okay,
making live exploits and stuff, but
uh-huh,
I mean, you know, if you have a pair like kings or queens or something like that, then obviously, I mean, it's such a good spot for somebody to make that play to try to bluff somebody off of kings and
hmm,
queens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen in reality,
right,
but yeah, okay, maybe I don't call with kings and queens, but you got to call with an ace though, for sure,
right,
for
yeah,
sure. All right,
okay,
man. Thanks for the call.
all right.
All right, cool. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out CrushLivePoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.